Now, to express the opinion of the management of WOR-TV, here is Penny Pinsker, Director of Editorials and Station Services.
This week on WOR-TV, we're taking an in-depth look at the changing family and the way changes are affecting children. One unfortunate change is the increasing number of children who disappear every year. Many run away from home. Some are kidnapped or become the victims of foul play, but the majority are believed to have been abducted by one of their own parents. A few months ago, President Reagan signed the Missing Children Act, which makes it possible for the FBI to use its computer to help locate missing youngsters. Of course, the best way to do that is to be able to supply the computer with the most complete description possible. Currently, New Jersey has become one of the leading states in the move to fingerprint school children, so that should they be reported missing, this vital information can be made available. We're sorry that such programs have become necessary, but with the number of missing children now estimated at 150,000 a year, we believe fingerprinting is necessary and should be carried out with the voluntary cooperation of schools, police, and parents. When a child is reported missing, the police investigation that can start with fingerprints, a physical description that includes blood type and birthmark placement, and an up-to-date, clear color picture of the child, has a better chance of succeeding. Fingerprint records of children are not being copied or retained by police. They're more like an insurance policy for parents. Therefore, if there are no plans to implement a fingerprint program in your school district, we urge you to talk it over with your local school board. If plans are underway, then we hope you'll cooperate. I'm Penny Pinsker.
This has been a WOR-TV editorial presented in the interest of our viewers. Comments on our editorial opinions are welcome, and we recognize our obligation to broadcast contrasting views of responsible spokespersons in order to achieve a balanced presentation on this issue.
If you've always wanted an adjustable bed, but you could never afford one, Magic Motion 2, your adjustable bed, now at flatbed prices. That's right, only Magic Motion, the company that brought you the adjustable bed, totally unique, built with quality, backed with reliability and service, now proudly brings you Magic Motion 2. Now even you can read, watch TV, eat, or just relax in your own bed at home at the touch of a button. Twin, full, queen, or king size, all featuring optional heat and massage. So for the rest of your life and still at flatbed prices, go get a pencil and call toll-free 1-800-547-5995, and we'll rush to you by mail your free information on Magic Motion 2. Also, when you call right now, we'll include your free coupon for the Restmate, a twin-size flatbed for only $1 with the purchase of any original Magic Motion bed. So make that free call right now. Call 1-800-547-5995 in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania area. If busy, call 1-800-528-6603 for your local Magic Motion dealer. Over 940 dealers nationwide to serve you. That's 1-800-547-5995 or 1-800-528-6603 immediately anywhere in the USA. And see for yourself why, if you had a Magic Motion bed, you'd be asleep by now.
Good morning. This is television station WOR-TV New York, transmitting on television channel 9 between the frequencies of 186 and 192 megahertz, with studios located in the WOR-TV Production Center at 1481 Broadway, offices at 1440 Broadway, and transmitter atop the World Trade Center. This station is a member of the Association of Independent Television Stations. We now begin our broadcast day with a salute to our nation.
Pledge of Allegiance. It never meant more.
Look
We pause now for a moment of prayer.
Most of us are so hung up on finding material solutions to our problems that we oftentimes neglect and even ignore our deepest human needs. Those needs were recently articulated for us by Mother Teresa of Calcutta, the winner of the 1979 Nobel Prize for Peace. I'd like you to hear what Mother Teresa says about human needs. The biggest disease today is not leprosy or tuberculosis, she says, but rather the feeling of being unwanted, uncared for, and deserted by everybody. The greatest evil, she says, is lack of love. The unwanted are hungry not for food, but for love. They are thirsty not for water, but for peace. They are naked not for clothes, but for dignity. They are homeless not for shelter, but for understanding. These, dear friends, are also our deepest needs: love, peace, dignity, understanding. So let us look to our own deepest human needs and ask God today to give us the courage to change our lives to satisfy those needs.
Good morning, everybody. It's exactly 4 minutes past 5 o'clock here in New York City. This is Ted Malley reporting the news for Channel 9 WOR-TV New York, pulling out of blizzard of 83 with our blizzard veterans Ken Williams and Lee Colon standing by on the technical staff. And the forecast for the New York City area as of this moment is today a bright sunshine day with a high in the mid-30s. We'll have variable winds 10 miles per hour or less, and for tonight, clear and cold with a low of 25 to 30 degrees in the city and in the teens in the suburbs. Southwesterly winds 10 miles per hour or less tonight. For tomorrow, the weatherman says mostly sunny with a high in the low 40s. As of this moment, the outlook for Tuesday is a chance of rain. And as of this moment, the temperature reading is 20 degrees Fahrenheit. That's -7 degrees centigrade. The humidity is 45%. Wind is from the north at 10 miles per hour. Barometer 30.47 inches, and it's steady. Looking at the national situation as far as weather is concerned for you, this morning a warm front is reaching from central Nebraska through southwestern Manitoba to a low over east-central Saskatchewan. A stationary front continues from the low across east-central British Columbia, and a cold front curves from southwestern Saskatchewan through northwestern Wyoming, central Nevada, and the southern coast of California into the Pacific. A warm front then runs from a low north of Cuba through southern Florida into the Atlantic. Highs are over the eastern Ohio and northern New Mexico area. And the national forecast for today is that thunderstorms will be scattered across the peninsula of Florida. Rain will spread from Florida across Georgia into southern North Carolina. Snow will be scattered over the mountains of Utah, northern Arizona, and northeastern Nevada. Rain will develop over the Pacific Northwest, and skies will be cloudy over the upper Great Lakes as well as from the central plains across the southern half of the Rockies. High temperatures will reach the 20s and the low 30s over northern New England. The 30s and the 40s will be the range for the remainder of New England through Virginia, across the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, and the Minnesota area. Readings over the northern Pacific coast will be in the mid-50s. Near 60 degrees will prevail as far as readings are concerned across southern Texas, the upper 60s to upper 70s over the inland southwest area, and the mid to upper 70s through southern Florida. And looking around at some cities in our marvelous country this morning, taking a look at Anchorage, Alaska, they're having -3 degrees there, but it's a fair day, a very fair day up in Alaska. Out in Honolulu, another fair day with a temperature reading of 71 degrees. In Minneapolis, St. Paul, it's foggy this morning, and the temperature reading there is 34 degrees. Out in San Francisco, it's 53 degrees and a fair day. Now, for those of you who might have tuned in just a tippy bit late, Here's a review on the situation for the forecast for Channel 9. This embraces Connecticut, New Jersey, and of course New York, Nassau, and Suffolk County. Today, a bright sunshine day with a high in the mid-30s, variable winds 10 miles per hour or less. For tonight, clear and cold, a low of 25 to 30 degrees in the city and in the teens in the suburbs. We'll have southwesterly winds 10 miles per hour or less. For tomorrow, a mostly sunny day with a high in the low 40s. And that low 40 temperature reading might bring us some thaw of the snow, which is prevailing everywhere in the metropolitan area. And the outlook for Tuesday, as of this moment, is a chance of rain. The present temperature reading here in New York City, once again, it's holding now at the exact reading of 20 degrees. Looking at headlines for you as of this hour, the Israeli military command says 2 Israelis in South Lebanon were wounded today when a bomb exploded near a bus that they were riding in. Authorities in Beirut report a Lebanese police trainee has been arrested after trying to sell illegal drugs. Military officers say that leftist rebels battling for control of a strategic highway north of San Salvador have killed 12 soldiers and wounded 15 in 2 days of heavy fighting there. News reports out of Jakarta, Indonesia this morning say the Indonesian vice president is calling for the withdrawal of foreign troops from the Korean peninsula. And sources in Santiago say that Chilean President Augusto Pinochet has fired several members of his cabinet. 33 members of the crew of a coal ship that capsized off the Virginia coast in high winds yesterday are believed dead this morning. A lengthy meeting last night on Capitol Hill failed to produce a compromise on what to do about Environmental Protection Agency documents subpoenaed by Congress. Those are the headlines as of this hour. I'll be back with details on those and other stories from the international news page coming up in 60 seconds.
Hi, I'm Barry Beck, captain of the New York Rangers. We have very special fans in New York, but none are more special to me than the youngsters who attend hockey games as my guests. These kids are from member agencies of United Neighborhood Houses of New York. For more than 90 years, these 35 settlement houses have added a human, caring dimension to this sometimes cold city. They offer programs that help kids grow up healthy and strong in their own neighborhoods. Programs like tutoring, alternative schools, day camps, sleepaway camps, after-school programs, and sports. The folks at United Neighborhood Houses care about New York's neighborhoods. Join me. For information on how you can help, write United Neighborhood Houses at 101 East 15th Street, New York, New York, 10003, or call us at area code 212-677-0300. Thank you.
Good morning again, everybody. It's 10.5 minutes past 5 o'clock. This is Ted Malley reporting the news. Turning now to our international news page, the Israeli military command says that 2 Israelis in South Lebanon were wounded today when a bomb exploded near a bus that they were riding in. The command says that the bomb went off as the bus carrying soldiers passed near the Rashaidia refugee camp, which is near the coastal city of Tyre. An Israeli soldier and a civilian were wounded, but not seriously. And authorities in Beirut report this morning a Lebanese police trainee has been arrested after trying to sell illegal drugs to U.S. Marines serving with the multinational peacekeeping force on several occasions. The Marines reported suspected drug dealers to Lebanese officials, who then cooperated with the police to set a trap. Today is election day in Cyprus. President Spyros Kyprianou faces 2 challengers. The president of Cyprus is elected by the Greek Cypriot community, which makes up about 82% of that population. The vice president is elected later by the Turkish Cypriots. Military officers say that leftist rebels battling for control of a strategic highway north of San Salvador have killed 12 soldiers and wounded 45 in 2 days of heavy fighting. Officials say that rebels are using Chinese-made armor-piercing rockets, heavy-caliber machine guns, and automatic weapons in their attacks. News reports out of Jakarta, Indonesia say the Indonesian vice president is calling for the withdrawal of foreign troops from the Korean peninsula as a step aimed at reunification of the two Koreas. Sources in Santiago say that Chilean President Augusto Pinochet has fired several members of his cabinet in his second government shakeup in 6 months. The sources say that Pinochet's new cabinet will be made up primarily of civilians. Latin America's most notorious female drug suspect was transferred to Bogota, Colombia, under heavy guard yesterday. Veronica Rivera de Vargasta, known as the Queen of Cocaine, will be arraigned there for possession of $150 million worth of cocaine destined for the United States. She was arrested early on Friday, along with 10 members of her smuggling gang, in a small town 60 miles southeast of Bogota as they boarded a twin-engine plane. They were charged with possessing 290 pounds of cocaine. A police official says the woman is also wanted for involvement in several kidnapping and extortion cases, and authorities in Peru, Mexico, and the United States also have drug smuggling cases pressing against her. Rio de Janeiro is in the midst of its 4-day pre-Lenten carnival revelry. The highlight of the Brazilian city carnival comes today with the 12-hour parade of the top samba schools. Celebrities on hand this year include actor Ben Gazzara and actress Ursula Andress. Horse breeders in Ireland have donated more than $100,000 to a fund offering a reward for the safe return of a prize horse that was kidnapped this past Tuesday night. The police chief heading that search called on the kidnappers to get in touch with authorities. He says the search has been centered in an area in East Galway where a clairvoyant claims the horse is being held. I'll be back with news from our national page coming up right after this message.
Hello, I'm Deborah Lamberti, Director of Social Work at the Fifth Avenue Center for Counseling and Psychotherapy. We serve patients from the 5 boroughs and suburban areas. The center is a community mental health clinic licensed by the New York State Department of Mental Hygiene. We offer individual, group, and family therapy as well as counseling for adults and adolescents. The center also provides an intensive counseling program for those with marital or premarital problems. Fees at the center, located at 10 West 10th Street in Manhattan, are on a sliding scale based on your ability to pay. Appointments can usually be arranged for the same day as your initial telephone inquiry. For more information, call us at the center Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. or on Saturday from 9 till 5 at 212-989-2990.
At 5:15 in the morning, turning to our national news, 33 members of the crew of a coal ship that capsized off the Virginia coast in high winds yesterday are believed dead this morning. Only 3 survivors were pulled from the water. 24 bodies have been recovered and 9 sailors are still missing. One of the survivors is quoted by his attorney as saying that shortly before the ship turned over, it started taking on water through its forward hatches. A spokesman for the firm that operates that vessel, which was loaded with 12,000 tons of coal, says it doesn't know why the ship capsized. 2 Coast Guard cutters searched through the night, and they will be joined by other rescue units at daybreak today. Some of the crew members apparently managed to get into lifeboats, but most died when they plunged into 17 or rather 37-degree water. An attorney says one survivor is considering legal action against the ship's owner pending completion of a Coast Guard investigation. And off the coast of Los Angeles yesterday, 10 people aboard a cabin cruiser capsized by a crashing wave were rescued with injuries ranging from cardiac arrest and hypothermia to fractures. 4 were flown by helicopter to a hospital for treatment of hypothermia. The other 6 were examined on shore, and 4, including the heart attack victim, were taken to local hospitals. A lengthy meeting on Capitol Hill last night failed to produce a compromise on what to do about Environmental Protection Agency documents subpoenaed by Congress. a House subcommittee chairman and Reagan administration officials met for more than 3 hours yesterday but could not reach a final agreement. Representative Elliot Levitas, a Democrat from Georgia, says White House and Justice Department officials have made a bare minimum proposal to give lawmakers access to those documents. Levitas declined to furnish details and said another meeting will take place in a couple of days. After Democrat Phil Gramm of Texas was kicked off the House Budget Committee last year for supporting President Reagan's economic policies, he resigned his seat and announced he would run again, this time as a Republican. Well, yesterday the election for that seat is being held, or was being held, in the 6th Congressional District in Texas. Returns are still coming in. Gramm is facing their 10 challengers, 9 of them Democrats. A Republican has never been elected from the 6th district in which he's running. President Reagan says he's aware of charges that the nation's social safety net is in shreds. But borrowing a phrase from Abraham Lincoln on the 16th president's birthday, Reagan said yesterday in his weekly radio address that truth is the best vindication against slander. President Reagan says his administration is committed to helping needy Americans. An American Civil Liberties Union attorney says he'll press Congress for a full investigation into the death of a young American killed in El Salvador. Attorney Mark Rosenbaum claims 21-year-old Michael Klein of San Diego was beaten before being shot to death by Salvadoran soldiers. Attorney Rosenbaum says Klein was on a bus to Costa Rica when he was ordered off the bus at a checkpoint and shot last October. The parents of a woman paralyzed from the waist down will face contempt charges this Wednesday for trying to move a trailer designed for paraplegics into their yard. Neighbors complained the trailer would clutter their subdivision. They said that they're trying to protect the rural atmosphere of the neighborhood, located on a Tennessee peninsula that juts into Chickamauga Lake. Actress Bette Davis was awarded the prestigious Golden Nymph yesterday at the International Festival of Television in Monte Carlo. Bette Davis won the award for the Best Actress for her performance in the American film A Piano for Mrs. Cimino. The awards were established some 23 years ago by Prince Rainier of Monaco with the support of his late wife and former actress Princess Grace. President Reagan's budget director, David Stockman, and IBM sales executive Jennifer Bly were married yesterday despite knee-deep snow that shut down most of Washington, D.C. The private ceremony was attended by some 140 people, and officials said the guest list included no big-name guests. It was held in the elegant Hay Adams Hotel across Lafayette Square from the White House. I'll be back with a look at news from our local page, and that's coming up in exactly 60 seconds.
Hello, I'm Michael Legiro, Executive Director of the North Hudson Community Action Corporation. We serve low-income residents of the 7 municipalities of northern Hudson County in New Jersey. Good nutrition is important for everyone, but it's especially critical for pregnant women and small children. Our agency's Women, Infants, and Children, or WIC program, provides nutritious food to pregnant and nursing women, infants, and children up to 5 years of age. To be eligible for this program, your income must be at or below 185% of the USDA-established poverty guidelines. Also, a doctor, nurse, or nutritionist must make the determination that you are nutritionally at risk. For more information about our WIC program, call us at 201-861-7500. We are located at 5918 Bergen Line Avenue in West New York, New Jersey.
And turning now to news from our local page, 14 people have been arrested in New York City for looting an appliance warehouse. New York City police say the suspects apparently thought they could take advantage of a blizzard and loot. 2 police officers who went to the warehouse said that they found as many as 50 people running about with merchandise. Many of the looters got away before more police could fight through deep snow to get to that warehouse, which was located in Queens. U.B. Blake, last of Ragtime's era's great composers, died yesterday at his Brooklyn home, 5 days after his 100th birthday. U.B. Blake was best known for the song, "I'm Just Wild About Harry." Blake had been suffering from pneumonia for a week, and a spokesman said he died of old age. Blake's funeral will be a private ceremony, but a memorial service is planned later this week at St. Peter's Church in Manhattan. Well, that blizzard laced with thunder and lightning buried the Big Apple in up to 2 feet of snow yesterday. The storm stranded more than 8,000 people at the city's major airports. It was one of the worst storms ever to hit New York City. It raged over New York and its suburbs through the night until Saturday morning. That swirling snow, powered by 40-mile-per-hour winds, trapped hundreds of motorists, crippled emergency medical services, and knocked out much of the weekend commuter train service. Representative Mario Biaggi has introduced legislation aimed at guaranteeing grandparents the right to visit their grandchildren. Congressman Biaggi, who's chairman of the House Select Committee on Aging, is calling on all states to adopt a uniform Grandparents' Right to Visitation Act. Biaggi's resolution asks that the law be developed to include a specific section containing guidelines a court could use to determine whether a grandparent's visit is in the child's best interest. He said when a grandparent's visit is being considered by the court, the most important issue should be whether it is consistent with protecting the vital connection between grandparents and their grandchildren. I'll be back with a look at our sports page and details on the weather, and that's coming up right after this message.
Smile, America. Healthy teeth last a lifetime. Hello, I'm Dr. Leonard Mann of the Hudson County Dental Society in New Jersey. I'd like you to know that the American Dental Association has set aside February as National Children's Dental Health Month. Educational and public service programs have been planned across the nation to demonstrate the importance of this annual event. The Hudson County Dental Society is proud to be a part of this nationwide dental health awareness program. We are offering free dental screenings every Wednesday afternoon during the month of February from 2 till 4 p.m. These screenings, staffed by volunteer dentists, will be conducted at the Jersey City Medical Center and at Bayonne City Hall. For more information, call the Hudson County Dental Society at 201-436-8900. Remember, healthy teeth do last a lifetime.
Turning now to the world of sports for you, in college basketball, third-ranked and unbeaten Nevada, Las Vegas made it 22-0 for the record on the season yesterday with a hard-earned 66-59 win over Fresno State. Elsewhere in the nation's elite, quite a few surprises. Fourth-rated Indiana had no trouble topping Wisconsin 75-56, but number 5 UCLA was shocked by Oregon State 69-65. Sixth-ranked Houston got by Texas Christian 74-66. Number 8 Missouri needed overtime to edge Oklahoma 84-79. Ninth-rated Arkansas defeated Texas A&M 62-55, and the nation's 10th-ranked team, Memphis State, was stunned for the second week in a row by Tulane, losing 49-47 at the sound of the buzzer. Continuing with UPI's top 20, it was number 11 Louisville clipping Marquette 81-73. 12th-ranked Kentucky sliding by Auburn 71-69. Number 12 Minnesota being upset by Ohio State 74-69. 16th-ranked Illinois State overcome by Drake 71-57. The NBA was quiet last night on the eve of the league's annual All-Star game set for this afternoon at 3:30 in the afternoon at the Forum in Los Angeles. And as far as that game is concerned, Philadelphia places 3 starters on the East squad, including Julius Erving, Moses Malone, and Maurice Cheeks. Boston's Larry Bird and Detroit's Isaiah Thomas round out the top 5. For the West, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson of Los Angeles join Denver's Alex English. Portland's Maurice Lucas and David Thompson of Denver in starting roles. In the National Hockey League, U.S. Olympic hero Mark Johnson had his moment in the league last night, coming up with a hat trick as the Hartford Whalers skated past the powerful New York Islanders 4-2. In other NHL action, the Pittsburgh Penguins snapped an 18-game winless streak with a 6-4 win over Los Angeles. Minnesota edged Chicago 5-4. St. Louis blasted New Jersey 5-1. The New York Rangers shaded Montreal 3-2. Winnipeg beat Detroit 4-2. And Calgary whipped Buffalo also 4-2. Toronto was scheduled to play at Boston last night, but that game fell victim to the snow. Turning now to the weather situation for the New York metropolitan area for Channel 9, and that means, of course, New Jersey, Connecticut, New York City, and Nassau and Suffolk counties. As of this moment, a bright sunshine day today with a high in the mid-30s. Variable winds 10 miles per hour or less. For tonight, clear and cold, a low of 25 to 30 degrees in the city and in the teens in the suburbs. And here's a travel advisory just in. The Port Authority advises that Newark Airport will open at 7 o'clock this morning for both departures and arrivals. Kennedy Airport will open for departures at 9 o'clock this morning and open for arrivals between 10 o'clock and 10:30 this morning. Both airports will have limited parking available, and the Port Authority advises passengers to please take public transportation or be dropped off. LaGuardia Airport is expected to open sometime this morning, but a time as of this hour has not yet been scheduled. Once again on that forecast for today, a bright sunshine day with a high in the mid-30s. For tonight, clear and cold, a low of 25 to 30 degrees in the city and in the teens in the suburbs. We'll have southwesterly winds tonight, which should be about 10 miles per hour or less. For tomorrow, the weatherman says, a mostly sunny day with the high in the low 40s. And that range of 40 degrees could bring quite a bit of thaw as far as this blizzard of 83 snow is concerned. And the outlook for Tuesday, as of this time, is a chance of rain. Right now in Times Square, the temperature reading is 20 degrees, that's Fahrenheit. On the centigrade scale, it's -7. The humidity is 45%. The wind is from the north at 10 miles per hour, and the barometer reads 30.47 inches, and it's holding steady. There you have the latest on news, sports, and weather. This has been Ted Malley reporting for Channel 9, wishing all of you a very happy Sunday.